Dahil ako po ay dutiful student, tingnan ko po yung article last year para lang to check ano yung progress. And may 10 na siyempre sir, so yung number 1, let Barangay and SK elections proceed on December 5. Natuloy naman po siya, pero ngayon lang, ngayong October 30. Early preparation, naglabas na po ng TOR, si COMELEC, sa halos lahat, including online voting, improve access of election monitors sa COMELEC activities. Okay naman po, pero siguro si Sir dito ang mag-expound pa sa improve access. More inclusive voter registration process. Hindi pa po natin nakita, but we're hoping that the RAP program or the Register Anywhere program of COMELEC would be continued and expanded for the continuation of the registration by January next year for the 2025 midterm elections. For the Campaign Finance Office as a permanent office, may movement dyan, naging department siya, yung PFAD, Political Finance and Affairs Department. Yung ask lang natin, more permanent and competent personnel, yung pa yung hindi natin nakikita. But at least it's a right step for a more directed effort towards monitoring campaign finance and our political parties. Review spending limits, pre-election online campaigning, forever pending and pending pa rin to sa Congress natin yung increase na spending limit. But for COMELEC, it's really good that we hear from them that they're monitoring also the online activities of our barangay and SK candidates. Kasama po yan sa monitoring nila ng premature campaigning. So we welcome that because before, in previous elections, iffy pa si COMELEC walang direct statement saying that they will monitor online campaign activities. But now, for the Barangay and SK, we're happy to hear COMELEC saying that they will go after, even yung mga nagka-campaign online. Laws and vote buying, nabanggit ni Director Maying sa Task Force Contra Bigay. And ngayon lang natin narinig si COMELEC adopting a whole-of-nation approach na hindi lang prosecution yung gagawin nila. May deterrence, may ngumingiti si Sir Louie. May deterrence, may information dissemination, and may prosecution. So, yung Task Force Contra Bigay, led by Commissioner Maceda, they really adopted more nuanced approach to combating vote buying and vote selling, given na hindi lang naman problema ng eleksyon ang vote buying. As to the anti-political dicey provision in the party list law, I would mention this dun sa election challenge, improve access to candidates' information. Yung mandating LGUs to provide office spaces, unfortunately, nauna po yung COMELEC National Office, pending pa rin po yung bill na yan providing office space, na si COMELEC na yung magpo-provide office space sa kanilang field offices. One urgent pending assignment, as said in this article of PCIJ, is yung IRR ng Bangsamoro Electoral Code. Up to now, wala pa rin siya. Wala kami narinig na movement sa party COMELEC. We're hearing movements, and of course, alam naman po namin to na merong IRR na sa part ng Parliament. Pero we're expecting that COMELEC will take the lead on crafting the IRR for the Bangsamoro Electoral Code. Yung sa election challenges po, if you would take a look at this Congress, wala talaga pa masyado appetite for the passage of election-related bills. Kasi for example, sa House, tapos na po sa third reading yung early voting for PWDs, for senior citizens. Tapos na rin sa third reading yung increased spending limit. But if you take a look at the movement at the Senate level, ang daming hearings particular to the new Omnibus Election Code. Pero hearings pa lang siya, unlike the House na natapos na sa third reading. So, yun yung problem namin kasi walang movement pa at the Senate level. Sa youth political participation, just to share po, we have an ongoing youth political participation program in Lente. Yung nakakatuwa po, in the 10 coalitions that we've managed to organize the past 2 years, ang problema namin, walang natira sa coalition kasi halos lahat sila tumakbo. Pero ano po yan pero kailangan din i-balance siya. Kasi yung mga taong parte po ng coalitions, ito yung mga interesado na talaga but they're the minority in the space, in the communities. If you take a look at the youth-led survey commissioned by the Asia Foundation, a few years ago or 2 years ago, malaki po talaga yung disinterest ng mga kabataan sa pagpasok sa politika. So I'm very happy to hear Father Tony saying na ma-maximize na yung Young David's program in steering the interest of our young people in engaging more in politics. Kasi sa ngayon po, mas pa rin traditional yung engagement sa politics, sa public education, engagement with the LYDO, but running for office, pa po yan, nasa baba ng priorities ng mga kabataan natin. Lastly, yung ASR po, we're monitoring ASR, abuse of state resources. Itong problema na to, laging na-mention sa election, pero wala pa masyado pag-aaral. So we're continuing our study on ASR, abuse of state resources, in election, and its effect after election. So ano po yung effect ng ASR sa governance? Because after the 2022 elections, we found out na malaki yung effect niya sa mga contractuals o yung mga job orders. Kasi nakaka-apekto kung nanalo ba yung incumbent or natalo siya. So yung mga job orders mawawalan ng trabaho pag natalo yung incumbent. Nagkakaroon ng effect sa governance if there's a change in leadership and yung mga leaders sa departments identified to the previous administration, we've seen how these employees were placed in floating status, so nakaka-affect rin siya sa governance. So yun lang po, madami na ata ako nasabi. Maraming salamat.